Hello, Internet! Welcome to, well, a little bit of a different thing for this week. So, today we're going to be doing a bit of a survival challenge where I'm going to be going from here on the planet up to the moon without using any control seats. Yeah, we're going to see how that goes. So yeah, I am here on the Earth-like planet on a lovely ice lake, which you can see is pretty much just under the moon. I've got my handy little survival van, which does have a control seat, so that's not part of the challenge. But yeah, I've got everything I need for basically a standard vanilla start, and I'm just gonna see what I can do. I have a basic plan for how this can work. We're gonna see how well that happens. But for this to be a success, I need to, well, build a ship, obviously, get that ship off of the planet. Traveling in space to the moon shouldn't be an issue. The real trick is going to be landing again on the moon. That's going to be tricky, because there are a lot of things that I don't have access to without a control seat. Namely, I don't think not inertia. Well, inertial dampeners, they may work. I don't know. Partially, I'm going to be finding these things out. But, directional thrust, I can't, like, control. Very easily, at least. So, yeah. I don't know how that's going to go. But for starters, I probably don't want to be in the middle of this ice sheet. So let's go ahead. Let's get to the edge here. So if we rotate the old bus around, I should be able to dump stone directly in. Alright. Get some materials going here. We'll probably have to keep this up for a minute. Then I need to... I think out that way there were some ore markings. If I'm lucky, I've found a lake that has both cobalt and iron. That would be handy. Okay. That's doing pretty good. Let's real quick. There are those ore markings. What do we have? Okay, silicon. Magnesium. Should be a third thing. Unless, of course, there isn't, and it's just two things. Yeah, it might just be silicon and magnesium. And, of course, ice. Okay. Well, that is completely useless to me. The two things I pretty much won't need for this adventure. Are there any other spots? Yes.
Fuel low.
Ow.
Fuel critical.
Okay, well, I guess that dying is a thing that's gonna be happening on this. Did I even... I didn't have anything of value. I know what I need. Well, hopefully what I need is on the far side of the ice lake. So let's just move the whole rig. I know there's no real reason to be on this side. There may be over there some other markings. So if these aren't useful. Now, hello Factorum, I will not be dealing with you today. Okay. Right. Gold and silver. I saw silver for a second. Yep. Yeah. Let's go ahead. We'll mark the silver. Gold I shouldn't need. That is one thing that I can't do as well. There is no way to use a jump drive if you don't have a cockpit or a seat. You cannot jump from like a button press. So there's no point in me getting gold because there's no jump drives being built. I guess I could use it for, you know, efficiency modules, but I doubt I'll need those either. So this looks like just gold and silver. Let's head back to that other end. Hopefully it's something more useful. Ow. Well, I guess that was inevitable. Do I have... I don't think I have a gyroscope on this thing. Nope. Alright. Pistons it is then. Small tubes is one thing I can't produce. I can get 2 out of those. I'm gonna have to grind off a tire temporarily. Nope, those are large. Oh, wow. I knew this was an older vehicle design. I didn't realize it was pre the 2x2 wheels. Okay. Annoyingly, I can get the tubes out of these suspensions, but then I can't get under to repair them. Maybe I will. We'll find out. This will be a long and awkward process of inchworming this up. Oh. Hey. Alright. Get this off. Hopefully replace the pipes in the suspension. Oh, come on. Oh, please. Yes. Now, hopefully this doesn't... Okay. Cause me to, like, snap my neck. Cool.
Fuel low.
We should be able to... Yep, refuel off that. Okay. Off we go again. We just now have the window open. Gently turn. Okay. Oh. I saw nickel. At the very least, I want iron. Oh. Dang it, what was that other one? Oh. Ice. Okay. Well, so we've got nickel. And silicon and magnesium. Ah. Okay. Well, nickel can be marginally useful. Let's... Of course, now the sun is setting. Let's get over here by this stone. Well, first order of business, let's get an actual base set up. And then I can go scout for the things I need. Ha! Aha! Well, that was dumb luck. It was almost dumb flying as well. I may not make it back alive to the base, but we have some iron. Alright. Do I want... No. And it's not worth... I could make a mine hole, or start one, but it's not really worth the effort. And I can't do anything with it yet, because I haven't actually built the, refinery. Okay. Can I stick this a landing?
Fuel low.
Oh,
Fuel critical.
I accidentally did the thing where I turn off the jetpack instead of turning on the dampeners. That doesn't help matters. That's all the stuff for you. Then it'll be the refinery, which is going to be more expensive, I believe. I think the refinery takes more steel. And steel is kind of... Iron is a big suck early game. Alright, back into the hole. Actually, just for variety's sake, even though it's annoyingly dark, let's go and get this thing. Because it'll have some iron. Maybe I get lucky and it points me straight to Cobalt. If nothing else, it's different. Oh! Hey, what do you know? It heard what I needed. Didn't give me very much, but it's something. There we go. One basic refinery. Alright. And we have power.
Fuel low.
We'll get fuel in a second. Okay, it processed the scrap. Let's just double check. Okay. Yep, we're high enough. Though I do think... Yeah, I put a little branch in, but I think that's going to be too low for other turbines. So I may have to rework that tower a bit. But producing 361. Yep, which is just above the max for the refinery. I can't run both things at once yet, but we're now much better set up to get there. All right. One more wind turbine to go. And we are fully powered. That should be more than enough juice for anything I need. Yeah. I'll fill this battery in 2 hours. Alright. And it is still nighttime. There. Me in. There we go. I may just go ahead and pop in the seat here. How much of this? Okay, good. Store my extra ice. I may just kind of, take a little nap in here and come back wake up when it's morning and then go do things. There we go. The sun cresting over the hills. Alright. Let's take that tank of hydrogen with us. And see if we can't find some cobalt. Oh, yep. Okay, got more nickel, more magnesium. If there's a third one, I bet, yep, it's silicon. Never mind. And is this? Oh, yep. More magnesium, silicon. I bet you there's some nickel around. Well, let's check around the iron. Okay, so there's more. Oh, silicon and magnesium. So this whole thing may be... I don't know, silicon, magnesium, and iron? And it seems like this whole side of the planet is made out of silicon and magnesium. Oh, crap. Okay. Let's see if we can make it home.
Fuel
Oh, I
low.
doubt it. Just get altitude, hope we can
Fuel
arc it.
critical.
Out. Okay, well, we made it fairly close to home. Huh. And this cobalt situation is... It's always something. You're always missing one key resource, and it's usually cobalt. I mean, my god, it's just everything is magnesium and silicon. The annoying thing is, there could be a third material, and that third material could be cobalt. But I'm just not... I can't find it. It's just magnesium and silicon as far as the eye can see. What is that? That's sort of bluish. Oh, please. Yes! Cobalt! Okay. It's not a ton. It's not, you know, a deep mine like I'd like, but that may be enough for what I need. Come here, sweet blue cobalt. Yes. So now, yeah, get what we can for that. Oh, we could have built it anyway because we had some grids. Well, it's good to know that we now have a cobalt supply, at least a small one. I shouldn't need a ton of it, hopefully, but I definitely will need some. So now that we've got a base pretty well set up here, let's go ahead and start building this ship. My plan for this is to have it in a small grid. I shouldn't need it any larger. And I think... Yeah, I think the best course of action I have... Well... Yeah. Let's just do, yeah, a rotor's good. We'll build it off a rotor, off a little sprue. In fact, I don't even strictly need to build this rotor. Just turn the lock on. That should be good. So I think the overall layout for this thing, maybe it'll be a little weird. I'm gonna want plenty of hydrogen. Which I think actually means... Let's not put a hydrogen tank in the middle. I'm going to build up the core with these things. Okay, so with that structure, I can then... Oh. Ah, dang it. Right. Space engineers and your block collisions. Okay. Well, I can still use this. And it may still potentially even be useful. If I do these guys... Yeah. I can fit the little oxygen tanks around here. With more steel. So I'll have some oxygen. I've got my generators on board. Then got room for 4 big honkin' tanks, which will have under them 4 big honkin' thrusters. So that is all that done. Now, so the next sort of level I think we need, gonna have to think how I want to do this. But one of the main issues I'm going to run into, let's just get some more fuel real quick. So one of the main issues I'm going to run into on this design is being able to control gyroscopes. Let me just double check actually. So this will be a temporary gyroscope. I don't believe that you can set gyroscopes to an angle. You can just control overrides. Yeah. Yeah, they've not added anything to this. I don't know. Let's see what we can do with buttons real quick as well. So my plan for designing this whole structure, this whole system, is going to be basically a bunch of buttons that I have to manually push for all my controls. So I need to figure out what I can do with a button, what I can actually control. Oh, interesting. I had one idea of how to do this, but actually, you can control gyroscopes so you can turn their override on and off. You can't set... I was hoping that you could set, like, the override to a number, like you can with all the other, like, wheels and thrusters now. But that does not seem to be the case. Maybe I'm going to do this a different way. A way that'll probably be a lot easier and probably safer. So my original plan was to basically build my own gyroscope. So basically you have a hinge, or not a hinge, a rotor. Then a little arm. Then a second rotor in like that. Then you do a block there and sort of cover this block with gyroscopes. So how this system works, if you set these gyroscopes to override with no overrides, so they just want to hold position, if this whole system is in the air, by moving these 2 rotors, you can actually control the angle of the ship. Basically, the rotors provide enough sort of friction, or not rotor, the gyroscopes provide enough friction that you rotate around them, and that allows you to, angle. But I'm wondering if what may be easier... Yeah, I think it will be. Instead of doing this system, which is obviously subgrids and whatnot. If I just have 4 gyroscopes, maybe one on each of the oxygen tanks, if they're all oriented the same way, I can have them set to different overrides, and my controls just involve hitting a button and it turns on the override in that direction. So I sort of press the button, the ship starts turning, I press it again to stop turning. That may just do it. This is something I've never tested before. What way is actually what on the gyroscope? Because you can see the little ball is positioned in such a way with the bar that you can discern a front and back. Let's do some science. We have gyroscope on battery. Now, can I... Yes, I can turn on override controls. Let's see what direction it moves. So pitch should be up and down. Okay. What just happened? Right, this will probably be easier now that it's not stable. So, the eyeball that's sort of partially blocked by the bar is on the ground right now. If I pitch negative, maybe wait a second. So negative, the orientation's all confused. And by orientation, I mean me. Okay. So negative, from the eyeball angle, wants to rotate the thing in an arc that way. So that makes me think this is forward, and pitching down is negative. Just jotted that down in real life because I have a feeling this is going to get convoluted. So, roll should rotate so the battery will want to go like that. Come on, do your thing. Okay, so with that as front orientation, negative rolls it left if I'm looking sort of the direction that that's pointing. Okay. Positive from that rolled it to the right, which means again left is negative. Okay, good. So with the gyroscope pointing in this orientation, negatives are going to do left, and down in their respective thingies.
Energy critical.
So I just have to know that when I set everything up, orient them all the same way, and then I can, from that, figure out sort of front and manage angles. Okay. I've labeled things. So the orientation of those gyroscopes will be, this is the front of the ship, this is left, this side's right, back is back here. So when I am controlling it, I will be standing in this orientation, and all my buttons will be based off of that orientation of the ship, and that should work. Now, something else I think I need to do some testing real quick for, and then I don't... It's going to be a more expensive test. I don't know for sure if, I have thrusters, if they will allow you to, like, if inertial dampeners work without a cockpit. I don't think they do. I think you need a cockpit for them to sort of engage themselves. But I should be able to test that. Okay. So when I weld up this battery, we'll see what happens. Hopefully this whole little droney thing stays in position. Yeah, thrusters are on. Okay, if I thrust override, it should start going up. It does. And it hovers there. Okay. Let's set this to override 0, so it should keep it level. Now if I push this guy, well, maybe if I override thrust, it does look like it's holding position. Okay, accelerated and decelerated. Okay, so no, grids will keep themselves in position when they are, well, when they aren't controlled. Landing's trickier, but okay. I may have the parts on me for at least some of these. That'll make the actual flight a lot easier and the landing a lot easier, because I won't have to be quite so precise with my angulation. I should be able to get a whole bunch of ice with this.
Fuel low.
Probably way more than I'll ever need. And it'll go straight into the O2H2 generators on the ship, which in turn will fill up the tanks on the ship. Okay. So, drill on. There we go. Let's turn that off just in case it cooks that, and that could be a disaster. Fact. Everything is off. Everything will stay off for now. I should also probably label this one. Let's turn on chair inertia tensor. Now I think we need batteries. We probably need... I don't know if we need cargo on this. I don't intend to take anything with me. It's just to carry me. Something I could do here. More generators never hurts when it comes to getting things processed. And that puts me kind of at the right height I need. If I have my battery in there, I shouldn't need a ton of power on this. Because once it's in the air, pretty much it's hydrogen. Hydrogen is pretty energy efficient. But that kind of gives me a good layer. I have some conveyoring I can run up into the cabin. The gyroscopes have room. Then on this platform, I can build my pod. All right. Well, let's maybe go outside. We've got ourselves a spaceship little pod thing. We've also... How are we doing on ice? Drill is empty, which means reverse it again. I've dug down in my trench a little bit, so yeah, we're doing pretty good for fuel. Oh, and we can check our fuel, right? Yeah, I've got one of them on a little screen here. So yeah, things are looking good. I've got all manner of button controls. I moved the survival kit up into the ceiling. I realized I probably want one on here because I'm going to need to use it to get power. Yeah, everything should be piped up. Oh, I should while I'm here. Set that to depressurize and... Okay, the little oxygen tanks are already full. That's good. Now, I'm pretty much at the point of setting things up. I realized I need to name these guys. Oh, and... So I have the ability to lean forward and backward and left and right. I have 2 buttons to roll the ship that way and that way. Do I care about that? I don't know. But you know what I should do, though? As much as it feels like a mistake not to have... No, I should be able to make this work. Because, yeah, I can still put gyroscopes here. So I can have them angled as I need them. So those guys, and I'm going to put one more gyroscope up here. Can I even... Okay, I can awkwardly... Oh, boy. I can get in there, but it's dangerous. Maybe I shouldn't have put these decorative struts on just yet. So, the 2 side gyros, they're going to be for the roll axis. This gyro, I realized I should probably have a gyro on board that is just holding it steady. So, let's go ahead and start naming. That'll be the stabilizer gyro. I'll probably, whenever... I think my best bet is whenever I use these Oh, nuts. The buttons can only do one thing at a time. Which means... Okay. Which means I need 6 timer blocks as well. Timer blocks in there, they will control the gyroscope, so whenever I press this button, it will trigger a timer block that actually does the sequence of events, turning gyroscopes on and off. Okay. So these gyroscopes, because they're all set the same way, I can actually turn override control on all of them. Stabilizer stays at 0. Yeah, and I could, I guess, have set the power on the stabilizer to like 50%, so that then all the other gyroscopes would have enough juice to override them. Yeah, we'll leave it as is. But the rest of these need to have the correct angles set. Yep, I'll turn them all off for now, except for, I guess, the stabilizer. And I probably don't want them going at full speed. Let's try 20 and hope that's not too much. Unfortunately, some of this testing, a lot of this testing is going to be done on the fly. Luckily, I have a fair bit of time drifting before I really need this. Going up, I just need to stabilize. So, for pitch positive, It needs to cycle that one on off. Cycle the stabilizer on off. And yep. Pitch to the positive is our up direction. So it turns the light on and off. Which I believe is this light. I can just turn all of those lights off. Okay. So now everything should be set up button-wise. So I've got my negative yaw, positive pitch, negative pitch, positive yaw, positive roll, negative roll. All right. Let's go ahead. First off, we'll hold off on painting. I'm going to do some painting. So these are my throttle controls, which means I need a thruster group. So my plan, this top button, it will set the thrust override to 100. Confirm. I don't know. Let's okay. Is that 100%? It lets me do a bunch of stuff. Will it yell at me? No. Okay. Percent does mean percent and is not like the number of actual thrust output. So anyway, button 1 is sort of full throttle. Then I'll have throttle controls. So increase thrust override and decrease thrust override. This button will turn the thrusters on and off. So my test earlier, I'd learned to land, I will have to turn the thrusters, basically pulse the thrusters on and off. Because I don't have the C button that would normally let me sink. Because I don't have reversing thrust. So, yeah, this should work. How are we doing ice-wise? Pull it back more. We're doing, yeah, we're nearly, where are we at? We're at 70% on the tanks. We probably have enough fuel, because this thing is not that heavy. We probably have enough fuel to get there, but I'd like to launch with full fuel if possible. Oh, did I mention before I ground down the truck? I can't remember, but I did. That's why the survival kit moved. I guess rather, this moved, and then I ground the truck down to let it move. Oh. One last thing that I had to get rid of when I was trying to access... Ooh. Actually, we can do a holo LCD, because those are fun. I want one more LCD in there, because that one more LCD will give me altitude and sort of orientation control. Apps, artificial horizon, background to nothing so that it's clear. That's probably right. That's going to be an incredibly useful control, though. Hold on. Just, that was looking weird, and I have some experience with sometimes the holo LCD just kind of floats away. So maybe we use our transparent LCD instead, because that shouldn't leave me. But it's the same idea. So this will basically tell me if I'm level, which is important. especially when it comes to landing, because once I'm sealed in here, I'm not going to be able, I have my windows, but I'm not going to be able to like look at a third person view. This is the view I have for my flight. So when I'm actually landing, it might be tricky. That's also what this screen is going to be for. Does that? No. Where is sensor? So what this sensor is going to be for is essentially to detect the ground, because from the cockpit I won't have a good sense of where these guys are. And actually, if I put an antenna on, I could use a camera. But that may get weird. We'll stick with the sensor. I think the sensor will allow me to sense. I should know when I'm level, and if I just drop slowly enough, the sensor will tell me when I'm close enough to the ground that I can probably just land. Okay. So, detect asteroids, set up action. I think it's this one. So when it's triggered, it turns that on. When it's not, it turns that off. There we go. So when we launch, that should turn off. As we're landing, that will turn on when we are close to the ground. I may actually... Let's do 8. I'm guessing that's maybe like 2 meters-ish there. I should probably know the height of blocks. That should give me like 5 meters-ish of warning, hopefully. Now, okay, we can drill in one more. This will probably get us to enough fuel to launch. I think I have everything set up. All my rotation controls, the thruster controls. Battery should be fully charged. Yep. Okay, let's do a quick paint job. And then I think we're ready to fly. All right. Now that's a spaceship. Yeah, I'm liking this. Okay. How are we for fuel? If I can highlight the thingy. 92%. Drill is empty. Let's go ahead and sever the connection. That should be out of the way. Now, I want to build a bit of a platform, so when I cut this thing off, it sits and doesn't just flop. Okay. Get our energy back from in here. The internal paint job is not the most beautiful in the world, but it should work. Let's get the battery online. Battery to auto. Tanks are nearly full. Everything should be good. Real quick, just for safety's sake, I want to reset these. Let's do like 5. Because we can always up it, but if it's too quick, we could run into problems. I think we're ready to detach. Here we go. Ship is stable. All right. Is there anything I've got my bottles on me? Should be good. The oxygen bottle is full. Hydrogen I can refill from here. I think we're ready to rock. Just check our... Yeah, pretty much full on all the oxygen tanks. Okay, I think we're ready to go. Actually, just to... Because there's gonna be some awkward timings with this. Let's weld up the actual landing pad. That way I don't cook through it while I'm pressing buttons. It's time to get this show on the road, light this candle, and probably die. Okay, thrusters. All thrusters on. In 3, 2, 1, lift off. Lift off? Hold on. Yeah, they're at full juice. Why didn't we go? Oh god. Nope, off. Okay, we've not lost fuel. Please don't tell me we're too heavy. Turn the side thrusters on. Oh, no, I see the issue. Those weren't my side thrusters. I've got the groups wrong. These are my side thrusters. Yeah, which are currently set to an override, which they shouldn't be. Stop it, you. Yeah, so those were turning on doing nothing, and I was just burning rotational thrust. Okay, hopefully we have enough juice to do this. The group should have reset because I named it the same. Maybe I just... let's just see what happens. Okay. So directional thrusters are on. Main thrusters are off currently. Main thrusters are now on. And lift off. There we go. That's space flight. Okay. Now I did just realize a problem. I don't actually have a window on the roof. So let's just depressurize the cabin. Yeah, I need some way to see where I'm going. I also need to rock override back until I'm just going up. Dampeners to the ship so that I can do this without dying. Okay. Oh, look at us. I should have done something so that I could get a spectator cam, but I forgot. We're above the atmosphere. Well, sort of. Yeah, because there's a hole. Do I have enough for a quick window? Nope, I need a girder, which I don't have. And I don't think I can get one out of the other windows without opening them up. So, okay, so we don't have a pressurized cabin, but we have a something cabin. Once we're up, high enough. Are my thrusters still? Hold on. Yeah, they're still overriding. The sound just turned off. I guess they're going low enough that it's not a worry. Just doing some in-flight remodeling. If I can build this wall up, because realistically, I couldn't see past the buttons anyway. Gravity, we're at 25%. Keep that going. There's a bit of stuff to check. I think... Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm at the lowest thrust override I can be at. We're still scooting up. We have 89% fuel, so we're A-okay on that. Though we're gonna have to use some for landing. Oh, nope, that's the wrong tool. Put that in. Now. Okay, we're pressurized again. That's handy. We can see outside through a little peephole. Now it's time for the real test. How does rotation work? Let's try spinning first. So if I click this button... Oh no! That's wrong. Oh boy. Okay. I've learned a thing. One, this will probably be a lot easier outside of gravity. I thought those controls were here. So that means, oh, duh. Because it's forward, not up. So, okay, I'm glad I set it to 5, because even 5 is too fast. Let's set these gyroscopes to, like, 1. I can fix my yaw and roll if I just change what these do. So if roll actually does yaw, and yaw actually does roll, now, yep, I rotate. Those let me bring myself back to level. Good, good. We're almost out of gravity. So we'll cut the main thrusters and we should drift out any moment. I may actually... Oh, in fact, yep, we're now in space because I can see dust shooting by. Let's depressurize and go outside to figure out where we are. This is how space flight works, right? Just hop out and take a look around. Okay, so there is Moon. That is our goal. So if we yaw that way a bit, pitch down a bit. The controls are working surprisingly well. Let's give us a little bit of throttle just to help us. We are angling. The directional thrusters seem to be doing their job. We're almost... Let's leave that open. Oh, dang it. No? There's just some extra air in here. It's, you know, there's a magnetic field. It's the plasma from the atmosphere that's created this particular oddity of having oxygen. There is the moon. Okay. That looks like we're pointed right at it. All right. I'm just gonna go outside and stick a window in this hole. I think we're pretty much set to cruise. Alright, moon's getting close. I may... Hold on one second. I think we're gonna flip now. And then I'm gonna try and just kind of hover here. So let's turn off main boosters. And we'll just spin her. Until I'll look at my little trackball on the suit. And, hey moon. Hopefully when that trackball's pointing down, that should mean we're pretty much angled correctly. Yeah, we're killing off a lot of speed. I should be able to stop here pretty darn quick. Alright, in fact, I think we just went up. No, we didn't. Because the override's off. Cool. Parked. Now I'm going to curl up in the corner here and take a little nap until the sun is in the right spot. Okay, I think that should be good enough. Oh yeah. Now, looking at the ground I'm aimed at, landing might be a bit tricky. Do I have enough on me for a camera? Well, I may just. Cameras don't need very much. I don't know if I'll be able to use it without the antenna. And I definitely don't have the stuff for that. Dang it, I need steel. I don't think there's anything here. Well, there we go. Steel plate. Okay. Now, can I use that camera without an antenna? Nope. Cool, that's useless. I guess I could have a seat in here, though, again, I don't think I have... Yeah, I have one interior plate. I need some more. Though, I do have this. I don't know. I think we'll just peek our head out the back door when we're approaching land. Because I would like to try and aim for not a crater, if I can help it. Okay. Let's yaw ourselves back moonward. Hit the boosters and start heading in. And actually... There we go. Can get ourselves more over those plain areas and away from those craters. I have to say, as weird as this is, it's working surprisingly well. Okay, we should be rotating, we should be moving towards the moon now. If I rotate us back so that we're, you know, thruster oriented. Yeah, our sort of, the way we're moving, oh god, gravity. The way we're moving is looking good. Okay. We have gravity, which means we now have our level orienter. That's good. Okay. Oh, we're coming down. Let's make sure that's all the way down. Turn on main boosters. Okay. So actually, I don't necessarily... I should, so long as I don't start going up with that. Which I do. Dang it. Okay. So I am going to have to pulse the thrusters at least until I get in a little more gravity. Hopefully, once I'm in a little stronger, one push of that just slows me. Uh, 0.2 G. Are we going down or up? We're going up. Okay, it may just be pulsing the dampeners. Luckily, I wasn't sure because this window is not great for viewing out. This window actually is. So I can just look out the side here. Control my thrust. Okay. Things are looking good. Looking good. We're at full moon G. Let's see here. Is that... I think that's my altitude. So 229. If I hit that button... Okay. Awkwardly, one button press looks like it literally holds me steady. I'm barely moving, but I'm not going down. So, okay. Thrust pulsing all the way in. Yeah, that is my altitude, that little thing. So I guess I can watch it. The issue is I don't know at what point it counts from. My guess is either from that screen or from center of mass, both of which are obviously not the bottom. Oh, I'm getting altitude warnings. I can see the ground. You know, and I could see the ground for a while, but I can definitely see it now. I can see it out the front. see the horizon. We look pretty level. Level enough that I feel safe. Okay, our landing screen's not yet lit up. I should have maybe had a audio alarm. Oh, hello ground. Okay, we're below 50 meters from some point. Just gonna tap her down. This probably sounds horrible. Oh, there was the sensor. Oh boy, okay. This is it. Clunk! Hey! We are on the moon! We're on the moon without any control seats. Ah. One small step for man, one giant leap for idiot challenges. Now look at that. Well, there's not much here. It's not really worth being here, but we can now say that we did that. And, more interestingly, we can say that you can make, pretty easily, relatively speaking, ships and space engineers that don't use a control seat at all. You can do pretty much anything just with a bunch of buttons and timer blocks. I didn't even use any fancy stuff like event controllers. The only fancy thing I used was the option to automatically set the thrusters to 100%, and I only did that once. So yeah, that was a little Space Engineers challenge. We succeeded magically in it. I may post this thing to the workshop because I think it's cool looking, and the fact that it is a functional spaceship is also pretty fun. I like this. So yeah, we'll be back with more regularly scheduled content next week. For now, thank you everybody so much for watching. Feel free to check out the other stuff I've done, and until then, bye-bye.